welcome to We Poets. My name is Sally Baker, and I'm the host of We Poets. We Poets is a poetry show for boys and girls between the ages of 6 and 13. So if you like to write your poems, please have your school teacher or your parents call me. I'm always looking for new youngsters to come. Also, I'm always looking for adult guests to come and tell young people something about their job or career that young people can pursue when they graduate from high school and college. Today, I have a very special guest, and his name is David Flores. He's the executive director at Berkeley Community Media, Channel 28 in Berkeley, California. So I'm going to be interviewing him, and he's going to tell us all about his interesting job here at Berkeley Community Media and something about his background. So here we go. Hello, David.
Hey, Sally. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
I'm so glad you're back from your trip.
Yeah, and it was a lovely trip as well. I'll tell you all about it.
Okay. Well, first of all, we're going to talk about your position here at Berkeley Community Media. Please tell us how long you've been here and something about your background.
Okay. Yeah, so like you say, I'm the executive director of Berkeley Community Media. We're on Berkeley's public access TV station, so we're on Comcast channels 28, and then the government side is channels 33. And then we're also on AT&T channel 99, broadcasting 24/7 on our website, and on a few different streaming apps like Local BTV and the Local BTV, or Localize and the Local BTV app. And yeah, we're always looking for new places to show our content. And it's a really fun job. We get to work directly with the community and help people make their creative dreams a reality. Like this show is produced here at Berkeley Community Media. And it's really interesting because we get people from all different skill levels and from all different walks of life. We have some folks who the first time they ever put hands on a camera is here at the station. And then we have some people come in who have won prestigious awards for documentary filmmaking or have already been producing content in a different country even. So it's really a fun, rewarding role to have over here.
Great. Can you tell us where you're located?
Yes. So we are at 2134 Martin Luther King Jr. Way in Berkeley, which is right across from Civic Center Park in downtown Berkeley. Kitty corner to Berkeley High School in the Maudel Charette building, which some people might know as Old City Hall. And yeah, we've been here since 2018. Previously, we had been located in the Berkeley High School building, but we had to move to this location a couple of years ago. And since then, we've just kind of been pivoting to best meet the needs of our community members. So as some people who had visited the old location might remember, we had a really large studio with a separate control room, which was a huge loss to lose that. But my hope is that in the future, we'll be able to get that going again and have that space for folks. But since then, we have our Green Cove, where people can shoot shows like this and choose whatever background they want. And we've been concentrating more so on field production and post-production work now, since we have more of a limited space. And yeah, but I think you had asked like how long I had been here too, right?
Yes.
So I started with BCM in 2013. I actually started as an intern, and I was an intern there for about 2 years. And it was interesting because at the same time, I was also a public affairs specialist for the Coast Guard. So that is actually kind of what brought me to BCM, because in that role, I was doing PR for the Coast Guard. So I was doing their photos, videos, press releases, media inquiries, and stuff like that. But they were mostly doing photo and not really video. And so I kind of made my specialty video because I saw that as, you know, the new and emerging thing that gets a lot more draw for people. And whenever I was doing that, I was like, man, well, why aren't we shooting multiple cameras at the same time and getting multiple angles? One static shot is just kind of boring. And so I did some research and saw that we had this resource here in Berkeley. Also around the same time, I was doing my schoolwork over at Berkeley City College. They have a really good digital video production program over there. And so I was kind of doing all that at the same time, but really with BCM is where I learned the multi-camera switching, or really what's the bedrock of talk shows. And it's just such a great thing because it takes so much of the editing process out because you're shooting live multiple angles and you can switch live in between them, and as long as you have good audio quality, you can switch live in between them, and at the end of it you have a show almost ready to go. You just have to add your intro, outro, and graphics, and it takes some work, but once you have the process of it, you can streamline it and produce great content like your show.
Yes, yes. Now, did you do a special show yourself, or you just was training other people or helping other people?
So for me, a lot of it was just getting hands-on on other people's shows, because one of the things that they teach you over at BCC is get on other people's shows, on other people's shoots as you're getting started, because that way you can learn what not to do on your shoots and have more experience and go into it with a more realistic expectation of what production is like and what all is entailed with it. Because it's really easy to have a very grandiose idea of what you want to do, and then without realizing all the work that actually goes into it. So I did have a show that I was working on whenever we were at our old location, which was Art versus the World, where we interviewed artists about what they were doing for art. And we, I think, shot maybe 6 episodes of that. But what people don't realize is how much work it takes to continuously produce a show, which is why I'm so admiring of you, Sally, because we're having a big anniversary year this year, right?
Yes, 40 years.
40 years.
Isn't that something? I never thought that Adnan and I would be able to do a show that lasted that long.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing, really, just because, really, for folks who you may not have shot your own show and you want to, you have to find your interview guests, you have to find a crew, you have to edit, you have to keep it current, you have to distribute it, and that's all just for one show, and then you have to keep doing it on the regular to keep people engaged.
Right, because when we first started, we did a show every week, and that's a lot of work. I'd have to go out to the schools and contact the school teachers and contact parents to get children. If the school teachers didn't get them, contact adult guests, and then show it, and go out and do public speaking, So it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work.
Even more than that, too, you have to promote yourself and your show to get people to watch it and people to stay engaged with it. So I'm just so impressed that 40-year anniversary. That's so much work.
Thank you so much. Now let's talk about your trip to Japan.
So I just got back on the 28th from Tokyo. Me and my wife went out to Japan. It was a short stay. It was about 6 days, which whenever you take into account the 13-hour flight there and then the 9-hour flight back, and getting readjusted to the time out there, it was a blast. It's something that I've had on my bucket list, and we were like, hey, well, let's make it happen this year. And thankfully, there's this new budget airline out of San Francisco called Zip Air that we were able to get some pretty affordable tickets out there. And then once you're there, everything was fairly affordable, because I believe right now the yen is down to the dollar, so the prices are a little better. And it was 6 days of walking a lot, eating a lot, just seeing all the sights, and I just got to say, shout out to Google Translate. That made it so much easier than what I imagine it must have been in the past when people had to go with phrase books. Or
Did you go to any of the TV stations?
I walked outside of one, but no, I didn't get to go into any of them. I thought about it, but my wife had a to-do list of things that we needed to see. So, and there was also, of course, things that I wanted to see too out there. But
I see.
And for such a limited trip, no. But I think that would have been a really fun thing. What I did enjoy watching is at the end of every day, I'd turn on the local station on TV, and just Japanese TV is really interesting.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, they have, their talk shows are in a format where it's like a large group of people talking, and they're just a lot of humor, a lot of laughing, a lot of little prank shows and little skits. And also I noticed that they did some food shows out there where they'd send their correspondents to different countries, like South Africa or Spain or South America, to see what the local cultural cuisine was like and have their people talk about how it tasted and like do a little cooking segment, which is something really interesting that I don't really see here.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yeah.
Were you able to go to any of the churches or schools?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Went to some of the churches, which over there it's more shrines. So and it's fun because you'll just be walking down the street and you'll see a Buddhist shrine and you're like, oh wow, this is a beautiful piece of architecture and historical building, and it'll be right in between these shops, or sometimes they'll be in the middle of a park. So we were staying in Ueno, which is a particular area in Tokyo. And there was a pretty large shrine out there that we got to go explore, and just the grounds are immaculately kept. Everyone is very respectful. And one thing that I noted, that not only in the shrines, but just kind of everywhere in Japan versus here in the States, is it's quiet.
Quiet? Oh.
Yeah, like everyone talks very low, and like they talk only in like certain areas, like especially in the public transportation. It was like very on time.
Oh, yes.
The etiquette of which side you walked on versus which side you leave open for people who are in a hurry.
Oh.
No trash anywhere, but also just very quiet and
Very respectful.
yeah, very respectful. So I love that about it. One other thing that I found very interesting is they have drink convenience machines on almost every block.
Oh.
And the thing that I thought was really interesting too about it is you have not only cold drinks but also hot drinks. So like it was cold out there. We went during December time, and my hands would be cold, so I'd get a hot barley tea and just warm my hands with it and drink it. And yeah.
You never thought to take gloves, or?
They have gloves there too, and I never thought about it.
Some
I
things we
have
don't
pockets.
think about, yeah. How about your wife? Did she like the weather? Was she cold? Or?
Yeah, she was cold. Thankfully, we planned ahead and we brought layers because we're here from the Bay Area and it gets chilly already.
Yes.
So dressing in layers is important.
Right.
Have your outer shell, your inner kind of stuff. And so we were able to acclimate to the weather. But then, that was also an excuse to buy a jacket out there and see what that's like.
Yes. And how was your wife's take? I'm sure her take was different than yours, things she saw that you didn't see.
Yeah. So what was it that she really enjoyed about it? I know for her, a big thing she wanted to see was their department stores, which that's something you don't really see here in at least the Bay Area anymore. The big, grandiose indoor buildings with all the different departments and shops. There they have multiple of them. I think we went to 2 or 3 different ones. And it's really interesting too, because they'll even have a grocery store in like the basement area of the department store. So you'll have like women's section, kids section, men's section. And then on the roof too, they have observation decks where you can go and view the city and kind of enjoy the sunshine. And there's like a kids play area.
How nice.
Yeah. Which is also interesting too, because I didn't notice that there was a lot of public seating areas there. So, we did a ton of walking. I think we walked like 8 to 10 miles a day. Just going from point A to point B and exploring and looking around. But the only spots you can sit down are in restaurants, at these observation decks, or certain parks have like exercise areas where you can go and sit.
And exercise?
Yeah, I was out there.
That was another thing. Tell us about the exercising that the people did. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw people doing, I don't know what the name of it is, but the kind of more slow movements.
Yes.
And then they'd have like a pull-up bar area and like stuff for working out. I know I stopped and had a warm tea, and I saw this elderly gentleman just on the pull-up bar doing pull-ups and stuff.
Yes.
I was like, wow, he's in really good
wonderful,
shape.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we're going to see some footage of your trip.
Oh, yes, definitely. I took a whole lot of footage. We went to a few different spots in Tokyo. So it feels similar to me to New York, that there's like different boroughs and different areas, each with its own distinct feel. So we were staying in Ueno, but we went to Asakusa and to the Shibuya crossing, which you may know as one of the busiest intersections in the world, which was just wild seeing how many people cross it at a time. We went to the Sensoji, which is this other temple area. And I forget the names of some of the other spots. I'm sorry, but no, we saw so much very interesting stuff. We went to museums that had some beautiful artwork and some archaeological pieces. One of my personal favorites was we went to the Ramen Museum, which has a variety of regional ramen specialties. And I think there's 7 restaurants in the museum. Mm-hmm. that they have to stay up to a certain standard or they get kicked out.
Wow.
So it's really good quality ramen.
Yes.
And they serve mini bowls, so you can kind of do a tour and try it all out. But I only got through 3 bowls. I was so full by the end of it.
What was your favorite Japanese food while you were there?
Ooh, I'd say either the ramen or the yakitori, which is these like grilled meat skewers, which I think we stopped at about 3 different restaurants, and each one had different varieties. One had beef, one had chicken, one had both beef and chicken, but different cuts that you wouldn't think of. So not like chicken breast or chicken thighs, but like chicken hearts and beef liver and like beef heart and stuff like that. So it's cool that they're using the entire animal, and they just cook it on these little meat skewers over charcoal, and they give you a side of like spicy mustard and another side of soy sauce, and there's some like condiments you can sprinkle on them.
Oh, good.
So yeah.
Well, why don't we take a break, and then why don't you show portions of your trip?
Okay, yeah, I would love to show you some of the things we saw out there.
Okay, then let's take this break, and we'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned, everybody. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with David's footage of some of the wonderful places he saw in Japan. David, that was wonderful. What a wonderful trip. I'm jealous that I didn't get to go along with you.
Hey, well, you know, it'll still be there, so you should definitely go visit if you have any interest in going to check it out. It was an amazing trip. I had so much fun.
Oh, have you gone to other countries?
Yes, so I've been to a few other countries. Mostly I go visit Mexico. I have family who live there. My mom and sister live there, and I think my dad might be moving there soon as well.
Good.
And I've actually lived in Canada for a little bit whenever I was a kid. And let's see, I've also been to France and Germany.
Wow.
And that's about the extent of where I've been to.
What did you do in those countries? Just visit?
Yeah, let's see. So, for Mexico mostly is just visiting family and seeing family when I go there. For Canada, I was there whenever I was in middle school for about 3 years. And then for France and Germany, it was visiting and going to a wedding, which a German wedding is fun.
Oh, I could imagine. Yeah. I was in Germany too, but I always thought Germany was kind of more rigid than some of the other countries. That was just my own personal feeling, you know.
Yeah, no, but people were very friendly and
they
chill
were very
when I was
friendly,
there.
But a little more rigid than some countries.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's part of the fun of traveling is you get to experience the cultures.
Yes.
And, you know, I really do think traveling expands one's perspective on the greater world.
It does, yes. And what else do you like to do for fun?
Let's see, for fun, well, video stuff, of course.
Of course.
I love getting on shoots and helping folks make their creative visions a reality. I play video games. I play tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons. I meet with a couple of my friend groups every week. We play. Let's see. I love cooking and karaoke. Those are some of my big things.
Oh, what do you like to cook?
Ooh, cooking. Let's see. I used to say pasta was my specialty, but you know, since getting married, I can't cook pasta as much. My lady's not a fan of the carbohydrates, so I've been working on soups more.
Oh.
Yeah, I love a nice bowl of soup because it's like all the things on a plate that you can have in one spoonful with that tasty, delicious broth.
Well, David, you're going to have to bring some food in for
Hey, I'll bring some.
the interns and myself and our guests.
Yeah. Bring them a nice bowl of pozole or like some kind of other soup.
Wow.
Pozole is that's the one I'm trying to make real good because I know my grandma showed me how to make it one time. And, you know, since then I've been trying to tweak the recipe and make it my own.
I see. Now, how about sports? Do you play sports?
Sports, not so much. As far as getting active, one hobby that I picked up this last year was I started going down to the Cal Sailing Club. Yeah, because, you know, I love getting out on the water.
You do?
Yeah. I love living near a body of water and just being near the water and seeing it. So I thought that was a really good way to you know, get active, be out in nature, and have some community with the folks because, you know, it takes a crew to run a boat.
Oh, yes.
But as far as regular sports, no, I'm not the biggest sports fan. I'm a little more of an indoor cat.
Okay, well, that's all right. Well, now let's talk about the future for Berkeley Community Media and you. What are your visions?
Yeah, so going into 2024, there's a few different things that we're trying to do here. So I mentioned that we've pivoted more to do field production and more post-production work. So something that we got going last year that I'm hoping to expand upon is we started teaching 3D modeling classes using a open source software called Blender. So I'm hoping to get more classes of that, and we're starting to do a brand new class, which is After Effects. So for those who may not know what After Effects is, it's a motion graphics program where people can create their own graphics or special effects for their videos. So that goes really well in conjunction with Premiere, which is another class that we teach here. So we have a variety of classes, everything from basic field production, where we teach people the very basics of creating videos. So like, this is a tripod, this is a camera, here's how they go together. To advanced field production, editing in both Premiere and Final Cut. This new class, which is going to be After Effects. And my hope is to also get a Illustrator class so people can make their own different style graphic images that can even also be incorporated into After Effects. So it's kind of building upon the foundations that they have to elevate the production value of their pieces.
Now, when will you start teaching these classes?
I believe that the After Effects class is going to be taking place in May.
Oh.
So yeah, we're starting this month of January.
Yes.
Yeah, we're starting January with podcasting class. Then the next month we're going to be doing field production class. Then the next month we're going to be doing editing class. So, you know, building upon everything. So, you know, first you can get your good quality audio, then you get your footage for the audio, then you cut it all together, and then the month after that is going to be After Effects, so you can add any kind of special effects you want or create nice graphics for it. And then I think after that is Sling Studio, so the multi-camera switching program, or hardware that we have, sorry. So teaching people how to, okay, now you know how to use a camera, now set up 3 cameras and switch them all together at the same time and create a final piece.
Wow. So these classes are, anybody can take them? Or how old does a person have to be to enroll?
I believe our minimum age requirement is 12 years old, and no max age. And you do not have to be a member to take the class, though if you want to use our equipment, you have to be a member in good standing. So
I see.
memberships span the gamut. If you're a Berkeley resident, it's $60 a year. If you're outside of Berkeley, it's $120. And if you're a student or a senior, it's $35 a year. But that being said, we never turn folks away for lack of funds. They can either do a work trade or do installments, or, you know, they can become an intern. So there's ways to become involved with the organization, even if there's a financial hardship there. And yeah, so anyone can take the classes. Just if you want to use our equipment, you got to be a member. But
Right.
once you've taken the class and you're a member, it's free to check out that equipment for the rest of the year.
Good.
And then the next year, whenever you re-up your membership, it'll still be free for checking out. So
Good.
even if you were a member in the past and you've been gone for a while, you can just come back, re-up your membership, and as long as we have that certification, you can come back in. And we have wonderful facilities access technicians here too. So say it's been a while since you did it and you forgot how to do something, our staff here can help you out and tell you how to do something.
Great.
One other thing I want to mention too is last year we started doing what we're calling master classes, where we bring in industry professionals to talk about whatever their particular specialty is. So do stay tuned and check our website out for that to see what master classes we have coming up. I know we've had Claudine Wong from KTVU come in and talk about on-camera interview techniques. We've had Sarah Jaffe, the director of photography, come in and talk about her role as a director of photography and what all is entailed with that. We've had Al Omega from the Creature Feature Show come in and talk about what's it called? The laws surrounding copyright infringement. We've had Duran Garcia come in and talk about on-camera combat. So
wow, you guys are doing wonderful work here. I'm so proud of all of you.
Yeah, we're trying to keep up and provide our community with the resources that they can use to be successful in creating digital videos.
Okay, so we're just about out of time, but quickly tell us again where people can contact you and the address.
So we are Berkeley Community Media. We're located at 2134 Martin Luther King Jr. Way. You can contact us by calling us at 510-848-2288 if you want to reach out to me directly. It's David, D-A-V-I-D, at betv.org. And yeah, we're open Monday through Saturday from 11 to 7 p.m. Come on down and check us out. I do suggest that you call us first because we are also shooting community content. So there's a chance we may be out on a shoot. So, be sure to give us a call and come on down and check us out. We'll give anyone who wants it a tour, and you can even just call us if you have a question about video stuff. We'll most likely be able to help you out.
Okay, well, David, thank you so very much. Let's wave goodbye to our watching audience.
Okay, wait, before we say bye, can I also just say, Sally, congrats on 40-year anniversary for We Poets, and for anyone who is available, February the 13th. There's going to be a proclamation celebrating Sally and all the hard work that she's been doing. So thank you for inspiring us and being part of our community, Sally.
Thanks so much. So let's wave goodbye now. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching.